Talking football with Mike Bellotti.
Shotgun. Whitehead beside Clemens with a snap and going to go left. Looks. Pressure comes, gets away from it, now rolls right. Needs somebody to break free and help him out. Throws it back across the field. It's caught. Touchdown, Terrence Whitehead.
How about that? Kellen Clemens looking the entire field over, finding Terrence Whitehead for the touchdown, and a huge, dominant win over the Washington Huskies on Saturday at Autzen Stadium. Hi, everyone. Joe Johnsante, along with head coach Mike Bellotti. And, Coach, boy, it could have been 50, could have been 55. I mean, you'll take 45, and I guess the point is that was a dismantling of the Huskies.
I'll take the win. I think it was a great win in terms of the fact that we came off a very emotional win on the road against a great football team, had to come in and play the role of the favorite and accept that role. We did a great job on defense. I wouldn't have planned to turn the ball over the first two times we touched it. That was not exactly in the plan. I was very glad, though, that we recovered from that. We didn't panic. And again, this team has that confidence. It's not arrogance. It is a quiet confidence about themselves, about what they can do on both sides of the ball and all aspects, offense, defense, and special teams, because we've improved. I thought Haloti Nada did a great job this week, pushing the pocket. Patrick Chung continues to get better and better, makes a key interception to start the second half. Our offense recovers from the first two mistakes and just moves the ball up and down the field. Kellen breaking a lot of records with a lot of help from the offensive line. When you go that much, throw that ball, and don't get sacked. And I think that was the best protection I've ever seen maybe a quarterback have against a Pac-10 team in the history of our conference.
As far as a dominant game goes, I guess you look back to the 2001 season when you went on the road and you beat Arizona and Cal in consecutive weeks. Those were two dominant conference wins. This one's right up there. I mean, as far as 570 in yards, they did nothing for the first three quarters. I mean, would you compare it to those games back in 2001?
I would, although, I hate to compare it to anything right now. I compare it to this football team. We're better than we were a month ago, better than we were a week ago. Again, I think we have to continue to get better, focus very short term, one game at a time. We have to go to Arizona, but certainly we can feel better about ourselves now. There's some things I can get after him about. We can work some bugs out, but pleased overall with the contributions of all of the receivers. Jason Williams continues to play a bigger role. It's nice to have options. Our stable of running backs. You know, Terrence Whitehead, as I said before, is a great football player. He's also a great mentor to guys like Jonathan Stewart and Jeremiah Johnson and Terrell Jackson. They continue to step in and make plays. Overall, just very, very pleased. I thought our kicking game got shored up. We did a better job. We plan on kicking off a lot. We better cover well. We're covering better. Matt Evenson stepped in again and did a great job in response to the injury to Paul Martinez that still has not fixed itself. So again, I'm just pleased where we're at.
Okay, let's go to the highlights. We have a lot to get through because a lot of points in this one, and we'll talk about it. But Coach, as we get going here, I mean, this team improving week to week. I mean, how much better are you today than you were the opening day against Houston?
Well, we know more about ourselves. We know more about the offense and the defense. I think the biggest change the past couple weeks has been our defense. They've played with reckless abandon. They played with a fire and a trust and a confidence, and it's allowed the offense to make some mistakes and then not have to pay that much.
Nice return by Jeremiah Johnson for 25 yards, but then those first two plays of the game, Coach, and, you know, I guess people had to think for a brief moment about the Indiana game, but this team so much different, so much better, so much more confident that you can overcome things like this.
Yeah, there's a trust and a confidence. Our seniors are playmakers. They are leaders. Unfortunately, the ball gets stripped here from James Finley. Great play by a great defensive player for them, number one, who unfortunately left the game early, but our defense responds really well.
Yeah, defense steps right up. Rankin loses two. Brent Haberly on the tackle, and then Stanback's going to be incomplete again. The pressure, and this is a sign. Look at Haloti take two guys all the way back to the quarterback.
He pressed the pocket, which again we felt like if we get some pressure in Stanback's face, we can make him less effective.
So the Ducks hold. They forced Washington to punt. They get the ball back, and then a missed exchange here, and Washington gets another opportunity.
Yeah, and that was a missed exchange between Kellen and Terrence, and that, you know, that's unfortunate and not very exciting because it's the seventh game of the season. You don't need that, and that's part of the bread and butter of this offense. And again, defense pressing the service again.
Rankin for two, then Stanback was incomplete. A penalty, it's 3rd and 18. Looks like they're going to be stopped again after this incompletion. But on that 3rd and 18 play, Stanback is going to go back to throw, and he finds Russo for 26 yards, their biggest play of the game for a touchdown, 7-0 Washington, and they're feeling pretty good about things right here.
Yeah, they made a play, took advantage of field position, and again, we were frustrated at that point, but not discouraged.
Now the Ducks go to work.
From the Duck 14-yard line, Tim Day in motion across the formation, so 3 receivers to the left, and a play fake and a throw, looking over the middle, throw, catch made, Tim Day out of the backfield, first down, he'll be hit hard across the 35 to the 37-yard line.
Nice play fake again to hold the linebackers. Great protection up front. You can see this just huge opening occur where Kellen can survey the field. Hits Tim right on stride, and the big fellow rambles.
Big chunk here for Tim Day. Took a big hit as well. Held on to the football, and more big ones.
Back to throw the ball. Looks, swings it out. He's got Terrence Whitehead and some room. 40. Gets by one tackle on his feet to the 50. Down the sideline and out of bounds. All the way out the Washington 40-yard line.
Nice play again, just a simple screen, a glorified running play, really get the ball to running back outside. Good blocking by the wide receivers, makes one guy miss, and off to the races. And Terrence is still not completely there. That groin is flared up again, but he is a playmaker.
And that was a late hit right there. You see the flag come out, so 15 yards more on the penalty. Ducks now threatening. Clemens looking for Cameron Colvin, 7 yards. And, you know, Kellen all day throwing the ball on a line. I mean, he even missed a couple of guys, but how can you argue with the numbers that he had? Unbelievable day.
No, a great day. I mean, a record-setting day, and it could have been better. I think the nice thing, I can still say that it could have been better. I don't expect perfection, but he did a nice job of running the offense, picking and choosing times to run and get down, and yet also had opportunities to get a few more.
3rd and long coming up, and Clemens throws a dart to Jason Williams.
That was a heck of a throw, and again, not a big spot to put that in. Jason is a nice big receiver with range, and again, you see him surveying the field. Great, very tight route in that area, and again, unfortunately, just on that half-yard line.
So 1st and goal, Ducks looking for the tie.
1st and goal for the one for Oregon. Clemens to throw the fade route, trying to get it to Demetrius. He turns and makes the catch for the touchdown.
That's a perfect throw. That is a great catch, but it is a perfect throw at 45-degree angle, right where the DB can't cover, and a great catch, great concentration catch. This is a great touch throw right to the corner of the end zone. Perfectly, again, freezes the DB inside, makes the catch. Nice job.
8 plays, 86 yards, 2 minutes and 44. That got the crowd going. I thought the crowd was a little maybe subdued early. Maybe that's because Washington's been so down. But when the defense really started to go, that's when the crowd started to go and Haloti again.
Yeah, he's just a dominant force inside, really coming into his own and playing with more authority is what I'd like to call it. Nice play by Justin Finney to break up that pass. And we felt like our defense was going to control the line of scrimmage. They did a great job.
One left. And back off the play fake, the throw. It's caught wide open. Demetrius, 50, 45, and a rep. Don't goes down finally inside the 40 to the 37-yard line.
This is an interesting play because it is such a great timing throw by Kellen. Demetrius just turns and the ball is there. It's unbelievable. Great concentration by him. Perfect execution by Kellen. And a nice job of getting yards after catch.
33 yards on the pickup. Kellen and Demetrius to the 37. And then Williams here. Demetrius for 14 more to the 23-yard line. Clemens was incomplete to Demetrius. Sets up a 3rd down and 15. This incompletion right here almost makes a great play. But a 3rd and 15, and going to pick up 14 on the play here, Coach.
Yeah, we again hit Demetrius over the middle, and originally I think it was told me it was 4th and 2.5. We decided to go for the 4th and 1.
They got the snap. Pressure comes. Throw it out. Whitehead with a grab. He's got the first down to the 10. Inside of the 6 and out of bounds.
The trouble is, and my players then came to me at the 50-yard line, at the 40-yard line, when it was 4th and 2 or 3. He said, Coach, come on, let's go for it. I said, I think I'm brave. I'm not stupid. Let's just take this. This is a good one. This was a great opportunity there because I felt confident in what we were going to do. Great execution, get the first down.
Well, the offense wouldn't leave the field. Evenson actually went out. They wouldn't leave the field. They wanted to go for it, and then Whitehead for 1. Sets up a 3rd and goal from the 8-yard line. Oregon looking for the lead.
Kellen on 3rd down and goal from the 8-yard line with the snap of the ball. A lot of time. Looks, steps up, now throws the ball. It's caught. He finally found Jason Williams.
Great job of protection, first of all. Kellen can survey the field, step up, hang on to the football, and it's hard to trust your protection, but it's a great job there. Buys time. Jason Williams finds the open spot in the zone, over the middle. Nice job, nice catch, nice throw.
14-7, Ducks in command. These numbers are unbelievable. 160 yards of offense to 44 for them. 24 plays to their 14, 9 first downs. Their only first down was the touchdown after the fumble. And after the fumbles, you could see that this was not going to be a close football game.
No, I felt we were the better team. We knew that going in. We had to play with intensity, and I was pleased that we carried that intensity in the game. And then when we had the adversity early, didn't change our plan at all. We just kept going at it.
All right, after the break, defense really turns it up, and the offense dominant over the Washington Huskies. Demetrius Williams doing it again. That and more when we return on Oregon football with Mike Bellotti. After this, the Ducks and the Dogs, a big one for Oregon.
This Oregon sports program is brought to you by Pacific Continental Bank and Steelhead Brewery.
Welcome back, everyone. Oregon and Washington, the 98th meeting of this rivalry, and Oregon in command here, forced a Husky punt. Going to start with it back at the 19-yard line. And, Coach, you start out Demetrius Williams for 11, make it Jason Williams at the 20, and he gets out to nearly the 30-yard line.
One of the Williams brothers. They're just interchangeable. That's good.
Demetrius, of course, leading the way, and Jason showing some stuff yesterday. Rosario for 10, starting to make it look a little easy here as Jason Williams going to come up with another catch.
Well, again, we're distributing the football. And again, that's the brilliance of this offense is the opportunity to distribute the ball across the field.
Here's Kellen on second. I'll make it 3rd and 2, and he gets the first down. Just a senior again, knowing exactly where the chains were. And then he's going to find Terrence Whitehead on the handoff, and Whitehead going to pick up another 9.
Yeah, again, I don't think we ran the ball as well as we would like, but again, I'm not going to quibble about how we get the yards or the points.
This time, Clemens to Cameron Colvin, who played a nice game, Coach, on 2nd and 1 for 9 yards. And so, again, you're just picking your way right down the field.
Yeah, again, nice job by Kellen, throwing the ball with good authority. Nice move there by Terrence to make the guy miss and get positive yards.
It was a holding penalty, so it was 3rd and 11 at the Husky 30-yard line.
Clemens from the shotgun again. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. A protector beside him is Whitehead. And back to throw. Clemens steps and throws over the middle. He's got Demetrius. He's got it inside. 2-1. Touchdown, Demetrius Williams.
Nice job again by Kellen, orchestrating the protection, adjusting the protection of the line of scrimmage, and then play fake, hold the linebackers, throw it right in the seam. Great route and catch, and then again, hold on to run that, get that last 5 yards in the end zone for the touchdown.
11 plays, 81 yards, so all 3 touchdowns coming on long scoring drives where you mix the run and the pass. And, hey, fans are loving this offense, which is among the nation's leaders. Kellen has the most passing attempts of anybody in the country.
Does he really?
This week.
This week. Well, that's
no,
good.
I mean total.
Oh, does he really?
After this game.
Oh, my gosh, that's hard to believe with teams like Texas Tech and some of those other guys are throwing every down. But, again, we have been very good at what we're doing. We're completing a high percentage of passes, getting great yards per attempt, and that's the key.
And the defense really picking up the momentum right here.
Stand back. One blocker behind him. Back to throw the ball. Steps up. Pressure comes. They got him again. And Devin Long will record the unassisted sack.
Nice job by Devin, continuing to climb the all-time charts for sacks and tackles for loss. See good pressure here. Keep him in the pocket. Anthony Trucks coming over, forces him back up inside. Belotti's there just in case, but Devin does it by himself.
I love the headband. Needs 5 more to pass. Ernest Jones will be the all-time leading sack leader. He'll also be our guest on Monday Night Live. Now Oregon backed up here. Longest drive of the day, Coach, starts from the 1-yard line. And from a play perspective, although it didn't end the way everyone hoped it would, still they didn't have the ball. They couldn't score when you got the ball. So Stewart for 3, and then a great play on 3rd and 7 for Stewart to get the first down.
Yeah, big-time play, and again, that's what he can do. He's got the speed and the strength to make plays. That play was supposed to go downfield. He was a safety valve. You see again, Kellen surveyed the field, gets a little pressure, dumps it off right there. Jonathan catches it at the 1-yard line. Again, makes one guy miss, first guy miss. Another guy miss, runs through that tackle, runs through 2 more tackles, and again, gets the first down yardage.
And after the first down, Ducks trying to continue to move it out. They'll hand the ball off. Stewart just hit behind the line, but still able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Not a whole lot there. Did a pretty good job on him there, Coach. And then here's the 3rd and 5 play. And get it out to Finley, but just a little bit short of the first down.
Yeah, unfortunately, again, we did not do what needed to do there.
So Oregon decides to punt on 4th and inches, and a personal foul penalty on Washington. And it was on the line of scrimmage. You kind of see it with the center. They just jump on the center there, and there's some extracurricular activity there, and that's where they call the penalty. So now Oregon goes to work back with the ball after the penalty.
On second down and basically 10 from the Duck 41. Snap from center and back to throw. Clemens, not much of a rush. Now gets some pressure. Now rolls right away from it. Wants it way downfield. He's got Colvin and got it. The ball is finally there, and he makes the grab. Waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally catches it and goes out at the 27 of Washington.
I have to admit, that ball hung in the air for a lot longer than I wanted it to. Again, Kellen, nice job seeing the field, jumps out, makes the guy miss there, is running out of real estate right here, throws it off his back foot, but he puts it to a spot where only our receiver can get to it. Nice job by Cameron to follow, take that ball in.
I think I said it was like the blimp landing. You know, it takes forever for the thing to come floating in there. And then Kellen, after the big pickup for 2 yards, there was a Duck holding penalty on this, so it moved it back. So 2nd and 17, and Finley going to get 15 of them right here. And Oregon calls a timeout with 42 seconds left. You have 1 left after that. And then incomplete to Williams here on 3rd and 2. So it's 4th and 2 coming up here, Coach. And, you know, this, again, towards the end here, you get the 4th down conversion, but after this point, I know it didn't go the way you'd hoped it would go.
No, we had 2 plays called. We got the first down. We should have been on the ball, which is inexcusable for a veteran team. Again, I'm not going to point any fingers. Just the whole team broke down right there. Our offensive team, offensive coaching staff, me. It was very frustrating to watch us let time squander away here.
The clock was running here. The clock was at 33, and it lost nearly 20 seconds here. And then a penalty, and then you use the timeout to try and get it set up for the what might be a final 1 or 2 plays in the quarter. And then with no timeouts left, even though the scoreboard showed 1 timeout, I don't know if that confused the folks or not.
Didn't confuse anybody.
Okay.
I knew exactly what the timeouts were, and I knew I had to burn my last timeout because we were so screwed up we couldn't get a playoff. So.
And they make the play, the Huskies do defensively, and Oregon gets caught on the field. They are slow getting up, and that's the end of the half. And, you know, I know that's frustrating, Coach, for you, but I guess the other point is you don't want it to take away from how dominant you were in the first half. 18 first downs to 4, 342 yards to 79. And I imagine even though you were so dominant, that gave you a little bit of, I don't know, a little bit of material to talk about at halftime.
Give me a little bit of energy to talk with the kids at halftime. And again, I was frustrated with that lack of being able to get the field goal. We had talked about take 2 shots, at least 1, maybe 2 shots in the end zone, have a chance to kick a field goal. We had no timeout, so again, we could not get a sack. We knew that. We just didn't do a very good job of executing. I'm frustrated by that. But again, I did think that we had dominated. I didn't like the amount of yards for the amount of points. We needed more points for that kind of yardage. We had dominated. But again, unless you do it on the scoreboard, you know, the other stats don't really matter. It's points.
So Oregon goes to the halftime with the big lead, 21-7, and coming up at the half, Oregon in the locker room, and of course we'll return with a purpose, as the coach just talked about. First, though, a little time for some basketball. The hoop season is underway, a little midnight madness for you when we return here at the half on Oregon football with Mike Bellotti.
This Oregon Sports program is brought to you by McDonald's and Oregon Community Credit Union.
Welcome back to Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. I'm Michael Burke. Now, with the Duck football season heading into the home stretch now, that can only mean one thing: time for basketball. Midnight Madness for the Ducks at Mac Court on Friday night, a resounding success, and all for a national TV audience on ESPNU. First, the Oregon women with a rendition of Thriller, and then a scrimmage for Beth Smith's group coming off last year's NCAA tournament appearance. Women's scrimmage for about 20 minutes, showing off their upbeat offense with new point guard Tamika Nurse and veterans Chelsea Wagner, Kristen Forrestal, Brandy Davis. After the women, it was the men's team and a little bit of a dunk contest. Aaron Brooks getting a little help from Ray Schaefer for the 5,000-plus fans at the pit. Free haircuts. The Oregon guys, many of which are aspiring hairstylists. I don't know if I'd be making an appointment for that anytime soon. And then the scrimmage, Ray Schaefer with the finger roll on the nice feed from Malik Hairston. Ivan Johnson, the Cincinnati transfer, showing off the range and the inside moves. Overall, great way for Ernie Kent to start a new season.
We're going to go to work on our defense right off the bat. I think you can see we're going to be an excellent offensive team. We got a lot of weapons. Our big guys are greatly improved. Ivan brings another dimension to this team. So right now it's about playing defense. We're going to go to work on that real quick.
Now, this weekend was about as busy as it gets. Across campus from the pit at about the same time, the '94 Rose Bowl team was being inducted into the Oregon Hall of Fame. That was event number 1, highlighted by a speech from former head coach Rich Brooks. At event number 2, the '94 Rose Bowl Ducks in Autzen Stadium for the game against the Huskies. Coming up later on in the show, much more on the induction of that Rose Bowl team as nearly 70 players from that Pac-10 championship squad returned to Autzen Stadium for the event. All right, now that the team spent their holiday in Pasadena, from what you've seen from the 6-1 Ducks so far this year, where will they and those of you who follow them be for the holidays this year? Pasadena seems out of the question, as it, of course, is the site of the national championship game, but Tempe is a possibility if Oregon wins the rest of its games, the Holiday Bowl in San Diego, or how about, say it ain't so, El Paso again. Inside Bowl in Phoenix a possibility, or the Vegas Bowl, which the Ducks have likely clinched already. Place your vote at chambersports.com, and we'll have the results next week on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. All right, coming up, the Duck offense missing the end zone at the end of the first half, but the defense, well, they're going to give them another shot at it right away in a second. The blowout is on at Autzen Stadium. That and more when Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti returns right after this.
This Oregon Sports program is brought to you by Ward Insurance and Eugene Home Sales Center.
Welcome back to the show, everyone, as we get ready for the third quarter. Ducks and the Huskies, 21-7. Oregon in control, I guess, Coach, you could say. I mean, because they haven't done anything to give you any idea that they could score on your defense. And I guess, what did you talk about to the guys as they came out?
Well, we talked a little bit about the debacle just prior to halftime, and that we needed to come out like a 0-0. Our defense responds with a great job here by Patrick Chung. The interception over the middle, great pressure by the front, and huge deal because we always put on the defense that second half.
Let's talk about Patrick Chung for a second, Coach. Last 2 games, 10 tackles, all over the field. I mean, shot out of a cannon a couple times. He looks like he's going to develop into a star.
I think he's a great football player. He's going to be even better. He's got explosiveness. He's got the nose to get to the football. He's got a burst to get to the runner when he's carrying the football.
So the offense with great field position and taking advantage. Here's Whitehead for 11 yards as he batters Huskies down the field. And then Kellen to Colvin for 13 here, Coach. Coming up, another nice throw by Kellen.
Yeah, that was a vintage run by Terrence just a second ago. There's Cameron, get up the field, Cameron Colvin.
He does barely get the first down, put his head down. Another look at it, Coach. It takes it all the way down to the Husky 12-yard line.
Yeah, and this is a key play again. Nice throw by Kellen. Good job right there. And then Cameron, again, get up the field. Like I said, that's split those defenders. That's the whole key, especially at that down and distance where you have to have the possession down.
So from the 12, Terrence here for 7 more yards. And what a 1, 2, 3, 4 punch Oregon has a tailback this year. And then on 3rd and 3, Kellen for Tim Day, caught and almost over. They reviewed it, Coach, but they said it was at the 1, and then a penalty took it back to the 11.
Yeah, I wasn't happy about the penalty. That's a great catch by Tim. Tremendous catch and very difficult throw to put it right in there.
Looks. Pressure comes, gets away from it, now rolls right. Needs somebody to break free and help him out. Throws it back across the field. It's caught. Touchdown, Terrence Whitehead.
This is a great job by Kellen in terms of his seeing the field. We're having a design sprint out play to our left. Nothing shows up there in his face. There's Terrence, a protector. Backside pressure gets to him, so he reverses his field, looks back, feels everybody running with him, and Terrence, the intelligent player, finds an open area near the corner of the end zone and then takes it in.
So 28-7, and at that point, it's looking pretty good for the Ducks as it did all day, but at that point you kind of felt like, hey, maybe it's downhill from here, and it really was, because the Husky offense, again, Coach, just being dominated completely, ranking as they come back with it for just 2 yards here. And Haloti, every single play occupying multiple guys.
Absolutely. And he, if not, he's pressuring the pocket. He's making tackles. He's just chasing things sideline to sideline.
They have to punt, another 3 and out for them. Here comes Anthony Trucks in the defense. Brent Haberly, another good game for the linebackers. And then Oregon back with it. Clemens to Williams for 16 yards. How about Jason Williams emerging?
He's doing very well. That touchdown against Stanford changed his game. He just has more confidence. He demands the football. He's doing a great job. Here's a nice run by Terrence, reversing his field, delivering a blow at the end.
Now at the 34 for a second down and 4.
Whitehead to his right. And with the snap, back to throw. The quick throw out. It is Finley with a grab. He'll get the first down. The ball 50. Turns it 40. The speed and finally tackled from behind inside the 35.
Nice job. Nice execution by Kellen in terms of throwing the football. James Finley, great blocking by the two other receivers seen right there, just occupying the defenders. And then James off to the races. And again, nice job getting down the field.
That play actually started at the 42. It was a 30-yard gain on the play for James Finley. Almost got away there. Came up with a little bit of an injury. I think he's going to be okay. And then Clemens to Whitehead for 10 yards here, Coach. And, boy, you get it down there, and you had a couple of great opportunities at the end zone here.
Yeah, we just didn't quite get it. Little touch pass just goes over the outstretched arms of Ryan Keeling.
Kellen's looking for Tim Day here, Coach, and this one was just almost.
Yeah, just we weren't sure. Again, miscommunication between the quarterback and the tight end.
Matt Evenson comes in, a 30-yarder. He splits the uprights. Might not have been good from 40, but it was good from 30, and that's all that matters.
He was kicking a little bit under the ball yesterday, again, just making sure, but his rhythm was very good.
That's 9 plays, 68 yards, Coach. 31-7 now. And back to the Husky offense. They can do absolutely nothing. It's Trucks and Haloti again. And then again, Trucks coming in on stand back, and going to be another punt for the Huskies.
We're trying to get stand back loose. Our defense is doing a great job of keeping him bottled up. The chicken in the chicken coop, as they say, I guess.
This one almost gets away from Douglas. He somehow gets it away. Ends up being a short punt. But did a great job just getting rid of it. But Oregon starts with the best field position of the day. I mean, one thing that people haven't talked about, Coach, is that you guys, for the most part, drove all the way down the field for almost all of your scores except for this one.
Yeah, we had a lot of long field drives, which is good. You like that, but you like the short field, too, when you get that chance.
Shotgun, the Husky 40. 2 on-outs left, 2 right with a snap, back to throw with plenty of time. Steps and throws, and it is caught. First down and inside of the 20 to the 18-yard line is Brian Paysinger.
This is great patience. Brian works his way down the field, but again, the patience by Kellen, the protection in the pocket is amazing. As I said, that's a long, long time. Surveys the field, comes over the top to the second level offensive receiver. Great job.
To the 17, and then enter stage right, Jonathan Stewart.
Back of the 17 of the Huskies. Kellen from the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right now, 3 as Rosario goes over there. Kellen inside handoff. There's Stewart. There's some room. Going to go outside. Straight arm. Turn the corner. He may score. 5-3. Touchdown, Jonathan Stewart.
Jonathan Stewart, again, this is a stretch play designed to go outside, but he can run to daylight. You see, he gets the ball. He gets a handoff underneath. Comes over the top here. Ducks inside the 1 block at the edge. And then outruns the defense, basically, and has the speed and agility to turn that corner and, again, get in the end zone.
Stewart, his 5th touchdown of the year. Coach, 38 straight points on the Huskies. Complete domination, and that includes the Montana game, because I think Montana probably played Oregon a little bit tougher than Washington did, but I think you got to give that. Well, no, I mean from a number standpoint, from the way the game is going, 38 straight points.
Yeah, no, but I think we're a better football team, and I think obviously our intensity is better. We know more about ourselves. Our offense has really developed, as has our defense. And so again, we're a different football team. I think again we brought the necessary intensity into this game, but we're also improving in the execution of both our offense and defense.
Ducks rolling right now against the Huskies. 4th quarter, Washington gets a little something going, but then Oregon puts a stamp on it at the end. Coming up, 3 quarters of football in the books. Oregon with 492 yards of total offense. The Huskies with just 131. 26 first downs to just 7. A record-setting day for Oregon when we continue on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti after this.
This Oregon Sports program is brought to you by Albertsons and Bi-Mart.
Welcome back, everyone. A good crowd of 58,000 at Autzen Stadium on Saturday. That was actually from the Mississippi State game a few years ago, but a raucous crowd. The cheerleaders doing a good job. The 4th quarter coming out. Coaching Stanford game, Montana, Houston, and now Washington, where the game was in hand in the 4th quarter. I mean, this is only 4 of the 7 games were over by the 4th quarter.
Well, that's great. I'd like to keep it that way. Let's just keep playing a lot of people and get better and better.
They started the 4th quarter, Coach, by picking their way down the field, continuing a drive that started at the end of the 3rd quarter, and they're picking up some yards here. Did you feel like your defense lost a little bit of intensity here, or they just started to do something a little bit different offensively?
We lost some intensity. We got tired. This drive took a lot out of us, We aided it with 3 penalties, I think 3 different penalties, which you cannot do. We got a little bit lazy and probably a little bit complacent.
The pass interference call there, and so that moves the ball to the 2-yard line. I wanted to show it again, Coach, just to see what you thought. It looked like it was a pretty good call.
Yeah, I think right there, there's contact early, right before the ball is even touched. And again, we need to get to the point, we need to lean into and turn back to see the football.
And then stand back here, looking for Lewis in the end zone. They get the touchdown. It was a 19-play drive. That's the longest in Washington history. It took them 10 minutes, which down 38-7 isn't going to get you back in the game, but it makes it 38-14.
Yeah, it did. And what it did, though, was take a lot out of our defensive line. That's a long drive for them to be and giving great effort in the pass rush and that type of thing. And Isaiah Stanback is a very dangerous athlete.
Kellen to Johnson for 5, and that sets the Autzen Stadium completion record for Kellen Clemens, who at the point we thought was taking his curtain call, but he came back later. But record-setting day.
Yeah, it was nice for him. They told us upstairs that he needed 1 completion, so we thought we'd get it, and then put in Dennis. And Dennis really did a nice job directing the team. Jeremiah taking off on the run here, and unfortunately later on when they got momentum, we put the entire first-string offense, not just Kellen, back in. I don't think the people understand that quite.
Yeah, and gave the offensive line a curtain call as well, which I thought was great, because they played an awesome game. We're going to even talk more about that on the Monday night show, but what an awesome game they played. And Coach, they get the ball back and stand back with a big gainer here, and still playing hard, puts his head down. Only a junior, he'll be back to Autzen next year.
Yeah, no, he's a good football player, and again, he's significantly improved as a quarterback. I mean, he's making throws and correct decisions, and he's very dangerous as a scrambler.
That was Shackelford for 8, so it's 4th down and 2, and they pick up the first down. It's Sampson who gets the first down, and then after that, it'll make it Kenny James. Sampson left the team. Kenny James for 2 yards, and then another pass interference on Oregon here on a 3rd and 10 on Jackie Bates.
Yeah, again, pass interference is the most difficult thing to call because it's just beauty's in the eye of the beholder. It's
just easy for the officials to call it when they don't look back at the ball, and they also got Oregon on a roughing the passer. And then Ty Eriks for the 1-yard run. It makes it 38-21 with 4:50 to go. That did not reflect the one-sided nature of the game. And is that why Kellen came back? Why did you decide to bring Kellen back?
Well, because I didn't like the way the game was going. I felt like we needed to drive. We didn't put just Kellen. We put the entire first-string offense back in and said, let's get going. We needed to run the ball. And again, probably in hindsight, Dennis Dixon could have and should have stayed in the game, in my opinion. Now, again, it was all our calls, but we did a good job. We just need to get some momentum back. We need to get some rest for our defense because they were worn out.
And Jeremiah Johnson for 28 yards here. And, Coach, this gives us a good chance to talk about the offensive line.
Yeah, well, they did a great job. We didn't run the ball as effectively during the course of the game. When you accumulate 570 or 500 or whatever it was yardage and 45 points, you're doing good. We should have had more points. We know that. But, again, no sacks. I think great job. And Jeremiah, we've talked about, he and Jonathan are as good a 1-2 punch as there is for freshman tailbacks in the nation.
Right here, Clemens going to find Jordan Kent for 5 yards. So Jordan gets a nice catch in traffic right there. And 12 different receivers with a catch.
Yeah, pretty amazing. It's the same thing. It's the nature of the offense.
And here, Terrell Jackson for 6 yards. And then Garen Strong. Terrell actually was before this play. Then Garen Strong takes it down. And then for good measure, Duck's going to try and close this one out after the Terrell Jackson carry here to the Washington 5. One more here to go for Oregon to put this one away.
Here's from the shotgun. Probably going to be a handoff to Jonathan Stewart. He's in the backfield. Nope, it's a keeper. Pitch it back to Paysinger going left. He'll roll right into the end zone. Brian Paysinger.
Nice job here. Nice read by Kellen Clemens. We've talked about a pitch key type thing, and there's nobody else outside when that guy took him. Great blocking by the 2 wide receivers. Brian Pacer can basically literally walk into the end zone.
Makes it 45-21. Duck fans going home happy. And, Coach, I guess getting some momentum as well to end the game that way was probably important for your team.
Yeah, I think feeling like you didn't just limp in. I think, again, that putting the first string in and just moving the ball down the field showed what we could have done. More than anything else, just happy to get the win, happy to come out of it relatively healthy, and now starting to look forward to the next game.
Ducks do look ahead, and but still spending a little bit of time being very satisfied with a dominant win over the Washington Huskies.
That win at Arizona State, and we don't want to live in the past, but that was a very big win, especially on the road. And if you come home and you lose to Washington, who cares? But we were able to do that. We played through some adversity. Defense carried us very well in the first quarter when the offense started with the turnovers. and it was great to be sitting here 6-1.
Once we keep them off balance, and we can do whatever we want to do. And if the passing game is working like that, we're cool. We just get everybody involved in it. Running backs, receiver, tight ends, everybody. So it's pretty hard to stop. We need to go ahead and handle business next week, and the seniors need to just, over that whole bye, we just really need to put it embedded in everybody's minds that we need to finish.
And it's just about going out there and executing what we need to. And on top of that, playing with a lot of emotion. I mean, that's one thing I always talked about, that 12th man on the field called emo. And the emo that the defense gives the offense and then the offense gives us. So it's just that emotion we get as a unit, as a team.
I mean, special team, defense, offense, I just think that we totally came together as a team. But, you know, there's always things that we need to work on. We'll probably go back to the drawing board again and just learn and learn from our mistakes and try to get better.
It is so special. I mean, I know a lot of guys on the team, and, you know, they beat us the first few years, and that was tough. You know, my brother never beat them. So for me to beat them 2 years in a row and my last year being here, it's always great, you know, to go out like this.
Coach told us, you know, we're bowl eligible, but that shouldn't, you know, that shouldn't make us not more hungry. Yeah. We got to continue to win, continue to, you know, go through this Pac-10, our last 4 games, and just continue to win, just stay more hungry.
So Coach Shinoka said it best there. Winning regular season, bowl game assured at this point. Momentum headed to the final stretch of the season. I can't believe there's only 4 games left in the regular season and 4 big ones, because every time you win, boy, do they get bigger the next week.
Yeah, each game now takes on a little bit added significance simply because it's a greater opportunity. I think, again, we are bowl eligible. We have a chance now to ensure a winning season, and those are our baseline goals. I want to make sure everybody understands that. We haven't reached anything yet. It's the minimum we set for ourselves every year. Now, each time we get the opportunity to compete for a better bowl game, continue to stay in this race for the conference championship, and I say increase national ranking, but that's not as important to me as just winning each football game, taking them 1 game at a time.
And we're just finding out that the rankings have just come out in Oregon, ranked 15th in the AP poll, 16th in the USA Today poll. So moving up the charts, moving into territory that Oregon was in just a few years ago. And this team starting to look, Coach, very, very special at this point. All right, headed back to the desert. Oregon headed back down there this time to take on the Arizona Wildcats down in Tucson. And USC in a big win for the Pac-10, pulling one out of their ear. That and more when we return on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti after this.
This Oregon sports program is brought to you by Kendall Auto Group and Jerry's Home Improvement.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. This is the time of the year when the Pac-10 teams start beating up on one another, but USC, UCLA, and Oregon have been able to separate themselves. They are the only ranked teams remaining in the conference, and oh, how close did USC come to falling out of the #1 spot. Fourth quarter action at South Bend, leading by 4, but Brady Quinn on the keeper takes it in for Charlie Weiss's team, and it's a 31-28 Notre Dame lead, but the Irish would come right back. Faced with a 4th and 9 at their own 25, Matt Leinart changes the play, and that's what he comes up with. In his life, he may never throw a better pass than that. Although it's Leinart, so he could. Down to the 11-yard line goes Dwayne Jarrett. UCLA tried to run a keeper. Leinart got out of bounds with about 7 seconds to go. And then with those remaining 7 seconds, he punches it in from the 1. I tell you what, if USC has 9 lives, they used about 8 of them on Saturday in South Bend. They get out of there with the win and their #1 ranking intact, 34-31. The final score for Pete Carroll's top-ranked Trojans. How about Alex Brink and the Bruins looking for their first Pac-10 win over UCLA? Jerome Harrison. What a nice run. 260 yards on the ground on Saturday for Harrison, and the touchdown. It was 28-7 in favor of the Cougars, but in the fourth quarter, Marcus Everett hauls in the touchdown pass from Drew Olson in overtime on a Maurice Drew touchdown at UCLA, remaining unbeaten 44-41. And Oregon State, the last team to win at Cal in 2003. We're going to do it once again on Saturday. They got 185 yards from Evanson Bernard on 42 carries. Mike Riley's team gets out of Berkeley once again with a win. 23-20 the final score. Beavers now 4-2, 2-1, and in very good shape. Joe Coach, back to you.
Thanks, Mike. And there may not have been a camera at the Arizona game against Stanford, so we're going to show you Arizona against USC. Arizona lost to Stanford in the, I guess, the who cares game of the week, and it's hard to get anybody excited about that game. Stanford won it. Arizona, what do you think for initial thoughts about the Wildcats?
Well, they're playing good defense. They only gave up 192 yards the entire game, but they turned the ball over, had 5 turnovers. That's the whole key. Turnover-takeover ratio is huge in terms of correlation of winning and losing.
All right, when we come back on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti, a little celebration time as well, and one of those teams that no one will forget, one of the most memorable teams in Oregon history in the Hall of Fame. That and more coming up next on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti.
This Oregon Sports program is brought to you by McDonald's and Oregon Community Credit Union.
They said the Ducks were finished.
Everybody was saying, Ducks are toast. They're over. Done with.
After an embarrassing beating at Hawaii and a similar result against Utah, the 1994 Oregon football team was 1-2, and many feared a second straight losing season.
We was 1-2, but we knew we had the talent to win those ball games.
And little did this group know at the time, the adversity it faced would change the face of Oregon football. For the players, the turning point in the year came behind closed doors.
It's when we had a team meeting without the coaches, and then everybody, got a chance to speak and kind of air things out.
It was a team meeting for me. It really changed things and really did a good job of bringing a young team together and playing hard, and made it a magical year.
And the magical season ensued. The Ducks won 8 of their last 9, including wins over 9th-ranked Washington and 8th-ranked Arizona. And it was a come-from-behind Civil War victory which clinched the conference championship and the Rose Bowl berth, the first in almost 40 years.
It was a life-changing event for a lot of the players. We dug deeper than we've dug before.
At the time, we didn't know. We were college kids, enjoying the moment.
And now, 11 years after the fact, Rich Brooks' team has been given the greatest honor, a team induction into the Oregon Hall of Fame.
I could never imagine this. I don't think I would trade this for anything in the world.
It's been extremely fantastic that they took the time out to honor us this way. And, it's just an honor just to be a part of this program.
And what this group of young men accomplished in one season can still be felt today. Their handprints forever on Oregon football.
That season is that not only on this facility and the athletic department, but the university. To me, that was a major springboard for this university.
The team was honored at halftime during the Oregon-Washington game, a chance for the fans to say thanks and for the team to get one last taste of Autzen Stadium.
And a great moment when they lifted Coach Brooks up, reminiscent of those great Civil War battles, huh?
Absolutely. There's a picture of that after that game at Beaver Stadium. I'll tell you what, it's a great group of kids, great group of young men now, not kids, and they've changed. They changed Oregon football forever. They set the foundation for modern Oregon football and success we're having today.
An honor rightly deserved and a great day and a great weekend at the campus at Autzen Stadium. A big win over Washington, another big one coming up against Arizona. Of course, we'll do it all again next week here on Oregon Football with Mike Bellotti. Thanks for watching, everyone.